Hey guys, it's Josiah here. Welcome back to another episode of Josiah's Grape Reviews. Today I'll be reviewing the IRP truck race, the ARCA IRP race, as well as the Indianapolis races, the O'Reilly race, and the Cup race. Pretty much a lot happened. This is going to be a long video, okay, because there's going to be a lot of races I got to cover, and there's also quite a bit of news outside of the track that I got to cover as well. I'll start with a pretty big announcement that happened on Thursday, actually, before I even talk about the races. But it was announced by Hendrick Motorsports that Alex Bowman would sign a one-year extension with Hendrick Motorsports for 2027 and then retire at the end of the 2027 season. Now, this came as a shock, honestly, to me. Obviously, I mentioned how Bowman had a contract. This is a contract year for Bowman. He was not under contract with Hendrick next year. This was a contract year for Bowman. And I said I was pretty hard on him last week in North Wilkesboro after he made that pretty bad mistake clearing himself off of Tyler Reddick. Trying to come to pit road, and then it cost pretty much all his teammates a lap or two. Basically forced them to not get good finishes. I was hard on Bowman. I said that it was either Alex Bowman that needed to go at the end of this season, or it was Blake Harris. I was right about it being Bowman, but I was wrong about the year, and I was not expecting him to announce his retirement. But apparently, this is something that has been on Bowman's mind for a while, because Bowman had said that he always planned to retire before the age of 35. I think he's 33, and I think he'll be 34 when he retires, so he's on pace to do exactly just that, which is good, because that means he's retiring on his own terms and not with injuries and all that stuff. Obviously, Bowman has not been healthy recently. It started with 2022 when he suffered a concussion and a crash at Texas, forced him to miss the playoffs. Got him eliminated for the playoffs. And then in 2023, he went down with a back injury after a scary dirt racing crash. That caused him to miss the playoffs. And then this season, he came down with vertigo early in the season, caused him to miss a couple of races, and that is, even though it's not official, it's pretty much confirmed he's going to miss the playoffs this season. I think he's too far back with 4 races left to make any sort of a depression and try and sneak into the playoffs. But I'm happy Bowman's going out on his own terms, and I'm happy that Bowman is getting a one last year, one last hurrah to hopefully end on a good note, because Bowman's career has been one not like any other. He started his Cup career racing for backmarker teams, dying teams, with BK Racing in 2014 and with Tommy Baldwin Racing in 2015. The results were the same, and you could sum up his time in those two teams with one word: mediocre, forgettable, abysmal. Maybe not one word. That's more than one word, but you get the point. Then in 2016, he got a big break thanks to Dale Jr. Unfortunately, it was an unfortunate incident with Dale Earnhardt Jr. going out with a concussion to miss the rest of the 2016 season. But when Jr. went out with the concussion, Jeff Gordon replaced him, and so did Alex Bowman. And Bowman's biggest, most impressive race came in the 2016 Fall Phoenix race, when he sat on pole and led most of the race. Found himself second with 2 laps to go. Found himself on the front row for the final restart, or the second to last restart. Then, unfortunately, he got into Matt Kenseth. Obviously, pretty much ended Matt Kenseth's hopes of winning the 2016 championship. But Bowman ended up getting back to full-time racing in the Cup Series in 2018, made all the way to the round of 12 despite what was a very, very bad year for Hendrick Motorsports in general. Jimmy Johnson had a down year. William Byron had a forgettable rookie season. Chase Elliott struggled early, but then obviously got his first career win, then got 2 more wins in the round of 12, made it to the round of 8 before he was eliminated there. So Bowman was not really the best in 2018, but good enough to make the round of 12. In 2019, he got his first career win in what was at the time the final race for Chicagoland, until obviously NASCAR returned to Chicagoland this year, where Bowman actually got a top 5 in one of his 3 top 5s of 2026. Then he got another one in 2020, made the round of 8, and then it's just been very, very consistently good enough to get by for Alex Bowman. He's only missed the playoffs with Hendrick Motorsports one time, and like I said, that was 2023 when he was injured, and he's probably going to miss it this year, mainly due to vertigo, but also the team itself just hasn't been good. So there's that. He had 4 wins in 2021. You could argue he backed into those wins, but I disagree. Every win, it takes just an ounce of luck. At least an ounce of luck. You need at least some luck on your side to do anything. In NASCAR, in sports, and anything. And Bowman had that, and he got 4 wins. And then the next gen came, and he's only had 2 wins since the next gen, and one of them was the 3rd race of the next gen, I believe, 3rd or 4th at Las Vegas. And then his most recent win came in 2024 when he snapped his winless streak, getting by Joey Hand of all people to win the Chicago Street Race, which that race was cut short, but that was still an impressive win for Alex Bowman. Hasn't gone to victory lane since. I hope he gets at least one more win, whether that's this season or next season. But we'll see. He has 8 career wins, pretty solid season for where he was 12 over 10 years ago. This is pretty. It's a pretty good career for Alex Bowman, even if it's not like if it had some potential, if it wasn't a full career, even so, it was still a pretty good career. I apologize to Alex Bowman because I know I literally went off on him after North Wilkesboro. Then less than 24 hours later, after I posted that video, he announced his retirement, and I felt really, really bad about that. So I apologize to Alex Bowman. It wasn't all his fault, miscommunication, all that. But will Blake Harris stay with the team? That's undecided. And so is his replacement. Connor Zilisch, it sounds like, unless something crazy happens, it seems like Connor Zilisch will eventually be going to Hendrick Motorsports in 2028, eventually. It's not confirmed, but that seems like what it's going to be, like Bowman going to Zilisch going to either the 48 or the 88 when Bowman retires. There's also rumors that Corey Day could get the 48. I don't see that. That's the less likely scenario. Corey Day's just a rookie. He has 2 wins. One of them was at Talladega, but the other one was at Dover, where he battled and beat Justin Allgaier, so that one was pretty impressive. But he is a rookie, and he has made some pretty bad rookie mistakes, all things considered. And even if he gets another year, which he's probably get another year in the 17 next year in the O'Reilly Series, I don't know if he's Cup Series ready even then, but we'll see. We'll see. He could prove me wrong, but maybe he goes to the Cup Series. Maybe not with Hendrick Motorsports, but maybe somewhere else. Who knows? Who knows? But we'll see. I think Zilisch will eventually replace Bowman. But anyway, so happy retirement to Alex Bowman, even though he's not retiring for like another year and a half. We still got a lot of time, but still, happy retirement to Alex Bowman. But anyways, that was 6 minutes already, and I just talked about one thing. I still have a bunch of races to cover. But anyways, I'll mention the ARCA race. It was won by Caden Honeycutt at IRP. He got by Carson Brown. He actually led, and then Carson Brown got by him next to lap traffic. Then he got by him back. Carson Brown closed in on him, and then Carson Brown had power issues, which costed him a good finish, but essentially gave the win to Caden Honeycutt. There's that battle for the championship between Thomas Annunziata and Jake Bowman. The Annunziata has 1 win this season that came at Lime Rock, and then Jake Bowman hasn't even won a race yet this season. So it's been, no offense, I'm not saying that they're mid, but ARCA's just mid. All right, it's just there's only like 5, maybe 3 competitive. Lucky if there's even 5 competitive drivers. I'm going to be completely honest. It's just a no-show in the ARCA series. So, but that's me. I think people won't disagree with me on that. But moving on to the truck race, Lane Riggs, he started on pole and he dominated. He led all but 2 laps. And he got the win. The other 2 laps were led by his teammate Chandler Smith. Front Row Motorsports actually were on the front row, so shout out to Michael Waltrip for that very, very bad joke. But Lane Riggs, he got a win, another win this season. I think it's like 5 or 6 wins for Lane Riggs. Basically doing what Corey Heim did last season. I don't think he's going to... Clearly, he hasn't had the season on par with Corey Heim. That's going to be probably unbeatable. But Lane Riggs, man, he's had a really good season. Finishing second, 1.1 seconds back, was Connor Mozak. Connor Mozak still has not won a truck race yet. I don't think he's won a... he hasn't. I think he's only won an ARCA. He hasn't won a trucks, hasn't won an O'Reilly, definitely hasn't won a Cup. But good finish for Mozak. Ty Majeski has had that streak of a good race, and then a bad race, and then up and down roller coaster. But he had a good race here. He finished 3rd. Chandler Smith 4th. Nick Sanchez qualified really well in the 77 truck. He gets a top 5. Stuart Friesen, 3 straight top 10s for Stuart Friesen. Very, very important for Stuart Friesen. He's now above the cut line. He came into this race tied with Tyler Ankrum for the final chase spot. He actually owned the tiebreaker, but now he got more stage points. He finished ahead of Ankrum. He is now 8 points above the cut line with 2 races left to go. So good job by Stuart Friesen. Obviously, it's been about a year now since he had that very horrific dirt racing accident that nearly took his life altogether. The fact that Stuart Friesen is still here with us, we're very, very lucky and very, very grateful for it. Stuart Friesen is just... The fact that he's come back, and it's impressive. It really is. It's really, really good to see for Friesen. And obviously, I'm a big Stuart Friesen fan. Him and Hemrick are my 2 favorite drivers. Hemrick, on the other hand, did not have a good race. I'll get to him in a moment. Caden Honeycutt came through to finish 7th. He sweat last time he raced in ARCA, he won the ARCA race and then won the truck race back-to-back days at Watkins Glen, or maybe it was the same day. Thought you could do it again at IRP. He won the ARCA race, but fell short here in the truck race. Still came home 7th. Gavin Bushell in his first truck series start, he gets a top 10. Very, very impressive race for Gavin Bushell. Tyler Ankrum finished 9th, and Michael Christopher Jr., the other Homer Friesen racing driver, he gets a top 10. So both Homer Friesen guys in the top 10. Shout out to them. Other drivers here, and we'll really mention them. Ben Rhodes, he kind of had a forgettable day. Harrison Burrows back in the truck series, but finished 16th. Forgettable for him. There's the Ram guys. Won't really mention all of them. Cole Butcher comes through 23rd. That was the only caution, I think, for cause that happened. It was an incident between Cole Butcher, Daniel Hemrick, and Landon Lewis. Looked like Daniel Hemrick was trying to get by Cole Butcher, and they made contact. Hemrick slid up and got into Landon Lewis. Big fiery crash, pretty scary crash, but luckily both of them were able to walk away. So that sucked to see. Daniel Hemrick, I mentioned, he's continuing to have just a very forgettable season. He's at times he's fine. It's just very forgettable in the fact that nobody's talking about Daniel Hemrick. He's having a quietly bad season, and nobody is talking about him. I don't think it's anybody's mentioning, or the fact that nobody even cares about Daniel Hemrick. I care about Daniel Hemrick. He's my favorite driver, alongside Friesen, like I just mentioned. And he's above the cut line. He came in 8th, like 40 points above. Now he's like 9th, and I think he's like 10 points above. So very, very huge points lost. He got no stage points. It's been a disaster. 34th DNF for Daniel Hemrick. Landon Lewis 35th DNF. Christian Eckes also, he came in top 5 in the points. He had an issue. I think he finished 2nd in the first stage, and then I think he had like some electrical issue, so that forced him to not get a good finish. He finished 33rd, but still, it was enough, I believe, for him to lock a spot. Yes, indeed, it was enough for Christian Eckes, Chandler Smith, and Gio Ruggiero to all lock spots into the Truck Series chase, joining Lane Briggs and Kaden Honeycutt. So with that, 5 drivers now are locked into the chase for the Truck Series. There's 5 spots left. Currently, they belong to Ty Majeski, Ben Rhodes, Grant Anfinger, Daniel Hemrick, and Stuart Friesen. And like I said, Friesen is 8 points above Tyler Ankrum, who's the first guy out. The other guys just behind him, Jake Garcia, Andres Perez, and Brendan Butterbean Queen. So with that, we will now head over to the O'Reilly Series race. Sheldon Creed actually got his first pole this season, and for a brief shining moment, I thought Sheldon Creed was going to have a huge day. He pulled away to like a 2.5 second lead, and then he cut up on a lap car of David Starr, and that set a chain reaction, which caused Sheldon Creed to just fade back. And I mean fade back. He went from a 2.5 second lead to finishing, where did he finish in stage 1? 7th. He barely got a top 10. So that's how crazy that was. And even more so crazy, Jeremy Clements won stage 1, and not by strategy, not by luck. No. He genuinely, he started top 5, his best starting spot ever in 4th, and he just effortlessly, but yeah, kind of effortlessly at the end, got by Sheldon Creed for the lead, and eventually just by himself, not with strategy, not with luck, just by pure pace, won stage 1. So huge impressive moment for Jeremy Clements. Unfortunately, his day kind of peaked there. He had a bad pit stop to begin stage 2 and then kind of fell back. I think he had an issue that put him on pit road with the hood up with like 10 laps to go. He didn't get a good finish. I'll have to check and see where he finished. But tough break for Jeremy Clements after a very impressive stage 1, probably the best stage of his career, to be honest. Stage 2 was won by Raja Carruth. That was due to strategy, and that was huge because Carruth is currently just below the cut line. So that was huge for Carruth to win the stage and get 10 points. But we did actually have a first-time winner. It wasn't Raja Carruth, but it was Carson Kvapil finally getting his first career O'Reilly Series win after 5 run-out finishes, including one a few weeks ago at Atlanta where he lost to Justin Allgaier. This time he beat Justin Allgaier. Allgaier seemed like he was faster and seemed like on the final lap it seemed like he was going to pass him on the final lap, but heading into turn 2, Allgaier got a little bit too high, almost got into the wall, had to check up, and that basically lost all of his momentum, and Carson Kvapil was able to hang on for the win. Justin Allgaier finished 2nd. He still gets credit for the fastest lap, so shout out to him. Ross Chastain, pretty good day. He finished 3rd. Chase Elliott had his qualified 7th, had a start in the back. They made unaproved adjustments because I believe they had a flat tire on the qualifying lap. So he had to march his way through the field, pretty much had to play catch up the whole race. But he got all the way to 4th. If a caution had come out, it would have been nice to see if Chase Elliott could do something and maybe mix up the guys and maybe steal a win, get the O'Reilly Series win back that he lost at Chicago, where he dominated and lost the lead to Brandon Jones on the final overtime restart. But we'll never know, unfortunately. Still a good race for Chase Elliott. Top 10 or top 5 for him. William Sawalich also gets the top 5. Shout out to him. Other guys in the top 10: Brent Cruz, Corey Days, Sheldon Creed, Brandon Jones, and Austin Hill, respectively. Retzloff, Gray, and Mayer, Alfredo, Jeb Burton, they all get top 15s. It was a pretty awful day for Jesse Love. Not awful, but just forgettable. He finished 16th, was outside the top 10 pretty much all day. RCR in general was just off. Hill eventually, he did get a top 10, but just barely. Check it here. Raja Carruth, the stage 2 winner, never was able to recover after he put tires on. He got 22nd. Looking here to find Jeremy Clements, 37th, 3 laps down, 2nd to last. That is a huge disappointment. 11 points. So 10 of them were from winning the stage, and one of them was that, I guess that's basically a participation point just for starting the race. So 2nd to last for Jeremy Clements. Huge disappointment because that's not where he deserved, to be honest. Not at all. But anyways, huge shout out to Carson Kvapil for getting his first career O'Reilly Series win. He made an oopsie, though. The big thing about winning at Indianapolis, you're not supposed to do burnouts on the bricks. Now, Carson Kvapil was told this over the radio, but the problem was he had already disconnected his radio. He didn't hear the reminder, so he did his burnouts over the bricks. And he got in trouble for that. So they showed a video. They had to clean the bricks for eventual Cup race. Tough break, but Kvapil Still got the win. He didn't get it taken away or anything. He didn't get. I don't know if he's gonna get fined or anything, but Kurt Squapple still has the win. Can't take that away from him. Also, Caden Quapple, his brother, he also won, I think, a late model race or something the same day with Travis Quapple, actually, his dad in attendance. So, good weekend, good day for the Quapple boys. So, shout out to them. Allgaier, who was already locked into the chase, so was Jesse Love. But now Carson Quapple, Sheldon Creed, Corey Day, Brandon Jones, and Austin Hill all also lock spots into the chase, leaving 5 spots open for the rest of the drivers. Those spots currently belong to Sammy Smith, Parker Ratzloff, Sam Mayer, Brent Cruz, and Taylor Gray. Currently, looking right here, 7 points above the cut line is Taylor Gray. Taylor Gray, I think, ran pretty solidly, and then he had a penalty, a speeding penalty, or some sort of a penalty, and he was never really able to cover. I can't quite remember where he finished. But still, just above the cut line over his teammate William Sawallish. Raja Carruth's back there in 14th, got the stage win, but didn't get a good finish, so that pretty much hurt. All the points he got from the stage kind of just washed away there with the bad finish. Sagan Alfredo also lurking back there, 15th and 16th. And now moving on to the Cup race, the Brickyard 400, and it was not good. It wasn't a horrible race, but it just wasn't really that good, to be honest. The Brickyard 400 has just not been good in general, and a long time, honestly. I think even before they took it out, maybe it was better, and then the next gen, it's just been awful. It's just been awful with the next gen. And it sucks because that's my hometown track. It's a crown jewel race. It's supposed to be good, but it just hasn't. So, huge disappointment. But Spire Motorsports actually swept the front row, just like how Ferrari Motorsports swept the front row in the truck race. Carson Osvar got the pole. Daniel Suarez was alongside of him. Stage 1 ended up being won by Ty Gibbs. And then Stage 2 was won by Ross Chastain. That was due to strategy. Ty Gillen also got 9 points. I'll talk about Ty Gillen in a moment. But eventually, when it was all said and done, it came down between Corey Heim, Christopher Bell, and Joey Logano. But the problem is, it's the next gen, and it's Indianapolis. So guess what? You can't pass, ladies and gentlemen. You could not pass. That was, yeah. The same thing that we've heard for a long time came here again at Indianapolis. I'd say even the O'Reilly race. They had a different package for the O'Reilly race. And the restarts were good. It was jumbled up, but then it got kind of strung out, which is how Indy was even before the next gen. But it makes it even harder to pass with the next gen because the next gen is just not good for passing. It's just awful. And we know this. I'm not saying that's what helped Corey Heim win. I'm not taking that away because Corey Heim's win was impressive. Still, it's just, I don't know. But Bell, he got there. I think he made one move, and Corey Heim was able to block him for the win. But Bell couldn't do anything with it. Corey Heim gets his second career win, second win of the season, and he is just part-time. He is not full-time. He's not a rookie till next season. He'll be driving the 35 next season for 2311, taking over Riley Earp's current ride. Impressive. Impressive doesn't even begin to tell what Corey Heim has done. And we know this. He's a phenom, and we knew this. Last season, I mentioned he won like 11 or 12 Truck Series races, won the championship after a 7-wide pass for the win, for the championship. Now here he is, winning at San Diego, the Naval Base Coronado, getting by and passing Tyler Reddick. I know Reddick kind of had some issues, but still, Heim was able to battle and beat him for his first career win. And now he goes to Indianapolis, one of the hardest tracks, especially hard to pass, hard to drive, and he gets a win, a crown jewel win. He now has more crown jewel wins than Chase Elliott. He won a crown jewel race more recently than Chase Elliott. He has the same number of wins this season as Hendrick Motorsports. Pretty crazy. There's a lot of stats that you can go with this. Huge win for Corey Heim, second career win. Very impressive. Shout out to him. He qualified 7th. He ran up there pretty much all day long. He caught a break at the end of Stage 1 with the Kyle Larson caution because he was able to pit then cycle up front. So that kind of helped him out. But he was able to stay there all day. I know, again, can't pass, but still had a good enough car to stay up there, avoid trouble, and hold on for the win. Christopher Bell comes home second. Still has yet to find victory lane yet this season. He is right there. He's too good this season to not win. I don't know what it's going to take for him to win, but he's right there. He came close at Chicagoland. He came close at Nashville. Came close here. He's been close so many times. I think he's finished top 5 in like pretty much every race. Pretty much since he had his wrist injury, he's finished top 5 in like all but one race. So turns out breaking your wrist makes you better. I don't recommend that though. But yeah. Anyways, but Bell looks like a superhuman now since he broke his wrist. Still hasn't won yet though. Joey Logano, it really seemed like Logano was going to catch up them and get his second one in a row. But again, I'm going to keep saying it. Dirty air, can't pass. Same old story. Logano was there in the thick of it, but couldn't even get by Bell. He came home to finish in third. Also, still hasn't won a Crown Jewel race. Still hasn't won a Brickyard 400. He has won the Crown Jewel races before. Hasn't won the Brickyard 400 yet, though. Still waiting for that. Chase Briscoe, I bit my tongue. Chase Briscoe comes to the finish in fourth. Solid day for him. Denny Hamlin finished fifth. It was originally looked like it was going to come down to Corey Heim and Denny Hamlin. The second to last restart, Hamlin actually got the lead from Corey Heim, and then when the big wreck happened, which we'll talk about a little bit, Hamlin got by him. But then on the final restart, Heim was able to get around Hamlin and threw a very, very aggressive block at Denny Hamlin. Kind of chased him down almost to the grass to where Denny Hamlin had to check up. He lost all of his momentum and fell back to fifth, and he couldn't recover. Couldn't get by Chase Briscoe. I wonder why. I don't have to say why anymore. I've said it so many times, but you know why. But he's also still looking for a Brickyard 400 to win. He's won every single Crown Jewel race. He's won the Coke 600, the Daytona 500. He's won the Southern 500. Has not won the Brickyard 400. Came up short again today. But I think he'll eventually win it. Obviously, he also hasn't won a championship, but there's that. Brad Keselowski, good finish. He finished 6th. Josh Berry, a top 10. Good for him. Obviously, Josh Berry is kind of a lame duck year. He won't be with Wood Brothers Racing next year. Jesse Love will. He'll be rookie next season. So pretty much making the most of it. Hopefully he can get one more win. Still doesn't have a ride next year, so this is basically an audition for teams looking for a ride, looking for a driver. Got a top 10 here. Ryan Preece, 8th. He had a pretty good day. I believe he was the first one to take 4 tires on the second last restart or the last restart, and really wasn't able to recover. I think he was around 8th. He restarted 8th and stayed there. So there was that. Carson Hocevar, 9th. Started on pole, had a good day, kind of faded late. Still gets credit for the fastest laps, so shout out to him. Also look at the point standings. He actually moves into the top 5. Tyler Reddick also gets a top 10 finish, so shout out to him. Looking here, all the drivers. Ty Gibbs had a stage 1, was fast, fell back. Good finish for Cole Custer, top 15 for him, as well as Zane Smith, SVG, 16. Daniel Suarez kind of fell back, 17th. Michael Liddell was also inside the top 5 briefly, also fell back to 18th. Alex Bowman at 19th. That is the best finishing Hendrick driver. I'm glad I did this when I did, because I saw something on Twitter and I can't believe it. I can't believe what I'm about to say here. It just sounds insane. Hendrick Motorsports has failed to finish inside the top 10 the last 3 races. The last 3 races, they have 4 drivers. Not a single one of them finished inside the top 10 in any of the last 3 races. Atlanta, nobody finished inside the top 10 there. North Wilkesboro, not Indianapolis. Pretty crazy. Of course, here 2 drivers had incidences. Another driver was fast, but he kind of had pit stops. But Bowman was just inconsistent the whole race. William Byron, he finished behind him. He finished in 21st. He was fast. I think he was inside the top 10, even the top 5. Did a strategy, and it didn't quite work out. Kind of was back outside the top 20, was never able to recover. So there was that. Looking way down here, you have to find the next Hendrick driver. Chase Elliott, 37th. Something needs to change. Something's going on with the 9 team. I need to put my phone down. I didn't mention this. I don't know how many times I mentioned this, because Chase is my favorite driver. I'm becoming obsessed with this. But one top 10 since his win 2 months ago at Texas. That was at Nashville. He finished 7th. He's had bad luck here and there. He's had some good runs. He's had some undeserving finishes. He's had some good runs that were wiped away here and there. Here at Indianapolis, he started 27th. And I thought even after he came from the back to finish 4th, I'm like, okay, he can drive at Indy. Maybe he'll do something. But again, what you could do in an O'Reilly Series is something you cannot do in the Cup Series. You cannot start in the back and then finish 4th. And I think Chase, that's something he could not. If he started in the back, he was not finishing 4th. Unless it was strategy or some good luck, something like that. He was not going to naturally go up there like he did on Saturday. He started 27th, ran 20th all race long. I think it was around 20th when incident happened between him and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. He basically cleared himself off of Stenhouse, cut a tire down, broke the toe link, went back on track, and then blew another tire. So then he finally went to the garage, repaired it. He was over 40 laps down and eventually finished in 37th. Because of this, he has now fallen to 6th in points, just 3 points behind Carson Hocevar. Could have been a lot worse. And I think what helped was the fact that Kyle Larson, the 4th Hendrick driver, finished dead last. Larson probably was the best driver out of the 4, but we never got to see his full potential because at the end of stage 1, Larson, while running in 2nd, blew a tire and hit the wall and ended up DNFing it dead last. So while Elliott also took a hit in points, so did Kyle Larson. They each get 1 point on the day. Congratulations. 1 participation point for Elliott and Larson each. Larson came in 6th in points. He is now looking here. No, Larson's 8th in points. He was 6th. Chase Briscoe actually got by him in points. He's 7th. But with that, Denny Hamlin, Tyler Reddick, Ryan Blaney, Ty Gibbs. Ty Gibbs was the newest driver to lock into the chase. All 4 of them are all locked in. Carson Osvar, again, top 5 in points. Elliott, Briscoe, Larson, Buescher, and Christopher Bell, top 10 in points. The other drivers currently above the cut line are Daniel Suarez, Joey Logano, Bubba Wallace, SVG, and Austin Cindric. Bill. Oh, I thought I forgot a driver. Okay, I was like, that doesn't sound right. But Logano was below the cut line and then won at North Wilkesboro in dominated fashion, had a 3rd place finish. He's moved all the way up to 13th in the points. Really seemed like Logano was going to miss the chase, and he still might. It's not over. There's 4 races left. But he is now 65 points above Ryan Preece. So, huge rally for Joey Logano. Huge last few weeks for Joey Logano. And now it's an even number year, so even number. Logano's supposed to win the championship, and now he's in position to. But even so, he's 13th place. We'll see. We're way down the road. Still way down the road. But anyways, so yeah. Like I was mentioning about Chase Elliott, just a lot of bad luck. And then he races like this and mistakes. It's just him. Like qualifying bad. It's just Chase needs to do better. He actually hit the wall in qualifying. That's why he got a qualifying lap. That he probably could have been a lot better. But he's making mistakes. Like the Coke 600 also, he like spun out by himself, and now he's clearing himself out of Ricky Stenhouse Jr. It's obvious his head's not in the game. It's just overthinking way too much. It's just, too much pressure. He's, again, one top 10 since his win almost 3 months ago, actually, at Texas. The good news is we have a break. We don't race next week. We got 2 weeks till our next race at Iowa, which is a good track for Chase Elliott. He has a top 5 there, then a 14th, which he was running top 10 eventually there before he didn't have a good finish, subpar finish. But something needs to change. The 9 team, like Chase Elliott, and like before, like it seemed like I thought that before this season, Chase Elliott could be a championship contender. Not because I thought he was going to go out and get 5 wins like he did like a few years ago, but because this format really suited Chase Elliott. Okay, when the other format, the playoff format, with the elimination style format, it was all about winning. Winning meant more than ever before, and now consistency means more than ever before. Maybe not ever before, because we've had this chase format before, but 16 driver chase instead of 10 drivers, 12 drivers, so it's a little bit different. But still, Chase Elliott's been the most consistent driver, arguably, the last couple of years. That's something he's done better than anybody. He's been consistent his whole career. He's finished outside the top 10 in points 1 time, and again, just like with Bowman in 2023, he also suffered an injury and then got suspended another race, so that's why he missed the playoffs. 17th in points was where he finished. But something needs to change because, and it's summer. Usually in the summer, the 9 team does good, but here they are not, and it's just. They're pretty much, they're quite literally throwing away their championship. They're throwing away their championship odds. And then the further down they go, the lower seed they will be in the playoffs. Obviously, they're still going to make the chase. I see no reason why Chase Elliott continues to fall, and then misses the chase. 4 races left. He should be fine. But the further down you go, the lower and lower seed you go, the harder it is for you to come back, get to first, and win the championship. Tony Stewart did it in 2011, but 2011 NASCAR and 2026 NASCAR, that's 2 different things, okay? That is 2 different things. That was back in Gen 5. That was before Gen 6. This is Gen 7, and this is the hardest gen ever. This next gen sucks. So, I don't know. But I'm not saying, it's not over yet. Am I saying he's not win the championship this year? No, he still could. We don't know what's going to happen. There could be very, very chaotic chase. We'll see. We won't know until we know. But anyways, so that's my rant on Chase Elliott. Not on Chase Elliott, but just on the team in general, because we know his full potential. But right now, the team's not in it. The driver's not in it. Nobody's in it right now. No, there's nothing for the 9 team. And I mentioned, it's not even him. It's Hendrick Motorsports in general. 3 straight races with no drivers in the top 10. That's unacceptable. That is absolutely unacceptable. I don't care what you did wrong, what happened, what didn't happen. That's unacceptable. You have 4 drivers. So you have 4 chances to at least get a driver in the top 10, and they failed to do it. I know Atlanta, they had a couple guys wreck. Atlanta's a super speedway race. Then you had North Wilkesboro. They all had good, at least some better cars. But then with Bowman wrecking, all 3 drivers who I think had good cars, top 10, maybe top 5 cars, were trapped and never were able to cover. That really wasn't their fault. Neither really was Atlanta. Maybe I'd be too harsh. Maybe I take that back. But still, that's just insane. That's mind-boggling. The team that's supposed to be the best team in NASCAR, the winningest team in NASCAR history, failed to finish inside the top 10 the last 3 races. It's just insane. But The video is long, like I mentioned. It's almost 30 minutes. I don't even know if we'll be able to post it because of the length, but we'll see. Overall, it was a good no, it wasn't a good race. It was not a good race. It really wasn't. It wasn't a horrible race, but it wasn't good. So on the Grape meter, I'll give this race a freaking maybe I have to really think about this. Maybe a 35%, 3.5 out of 10. It was not. You're gonna pick a Grape. It's not gonna be good. It's not gonna be the worst Grape in the world, but it's not gonna be good. It's not gonna be fully ripe. It's not ready yet. It's not ready to be ripe yet. So there you go. That's my take on this. Anyways, long video. I'll stop yapping. I don't want to cut this longer than it already is. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys do enjoy. And as always, you guys know what to do. Smash like, subscribe, and as always, hit the notification bell as well. As always, just do suggestion by yours truly. I'll see you guys in the next video. See you guys then. Bye.